Good morning. My name is Juliana, and I will be your chairperson for today's Dharma School service. Are there any visitors or new students and families here this morning? If so, welcome to our temple. Could those of you sitting near them help find the proper pages for the sutras, gathas, and readings? Thank you. First, we'll have Sanbujo on page 24 in the big book, followed by the sutra chanting Juseige on page 23 in the little book, or page 93 in the big book. Please rise to sing the Gatha, We Are One, which is the first song in the yellow handout, followed by the golden chain, which is located on page 2 in the little book or page 15 in the big book under golden chain 1.
Come gather round, hand in hand, listen to Amida's teachings. Listen with your heart, listen with your mind to Amida Buddha's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu, singing Namo Amida Butsu. All of the world is bright, singing Namo Amida Butsu. We are one. Peace and harmony in Amida's land, peace and harmony within me. Put our hands together, bow our heads, thankful to Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, singing Namo Amida Butsu. All of the world is bright, singing Namo Amida Butsu. We are one. We are one.
The golden chain. I am a link in Amida's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo.
Now we will have a Dharma lesson by Reverend Jones.
Please join me in Kansho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Nama. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to this morning's service. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all those watching from home as well. So today we recognize the contributions of two women who lived over 800 years ago in Japan. Their names are Eshinni and Kakushinni. Can anybody tell me who Eshinni was? Come on, somebody in the Dharma school has to. Yes. Shinran Shonin's wife. Very good. How about Kakushinni? Can anybody tell me who Kakushinni was? Anybody else? Okay. Right. So she was Shinran Shonin and Eshinni's youngest daughter. I'm sure most of you have heard at one time or another that girls can't keep up with boys. Maybe you've heard people say that boys are stronger and faster and even smarter than girls. Well, let me assure you, there are plenty of girls who are stronger, faster, and smarter than the boys around them. And Eshinni and Kakushinni are two examples of women who are very important and whose efforts made the men around them better known. In fact, had it not been for Eshinni and Kakushinni, none of us would be sitting here right now in a Jodo Shinshu temple. And keep in mind, girls and women had it much harder in the 12th and 13th centuries Japan. It was really much more of a man's world back then. Shinran met Eshinni after he left Mount Hiei, where he had studied for over 20 years. It's not really clear whether they met in Kyoto or later in Kanto after he had been exiled. Kanto is around the area where Tokyo is today. In any case, they had 6 children, Again, the records aren't totally clear of the number, but about 6 children. And Eshinni came from a landowning family. And because of the land she owned, she was able to help support their family while Shinran taught the Dharma and wrote his many works. After several years, they moved back to Kyoto, where they spent another over 20 years while Shinran continued to spread the Dharma. This doesn't bring in a lot of money, so they really relied on Eshinni's landowning to provide for the family. But over time, Eshinni had to return back to her home in Etsuko to look after the property. Now, she was over 70 years old, and Shinran was over 80 years old at that time. So Shinran stayed in Kyoto with Kakushinni, their youngest daughter, and she looked after him after Eshinni left. Now, the only way that Shinran could communicate with his wife and Kakushinni with her mother was for them to write letters to each other. And even those letters took a long time to go back and forth. They had to find somebody who was going to Kyoto or find somebody who was going to Etsuko and ask them to take the letter with them. It's not like there was a mailbox at the end of the street, right? They couldn't do that. And it's good that they did write those letters, because in the early 1900s, 700 years after Shinran and his family were all gone, many people doubted whether or not Shinran ever existed, or if the Jodo Shinshu people had just made him up. Then in 1921, somebody going through the archives in Nishihonguanji in Kyoto found letters written by Eshinni to Shinran and by Kakushinni and Eshinni to each other. This proved that there really was a Shinran. And if not for Eshinni's sacrifices to support her husband and for their letters, we might never have known if Shinran had been a real person or not. I said that Kakushinni looked after Shinran after her mom returned to Etsuko, but she did much more than take care of Shinran in life. After his death, it was Kakushinni who acquired the land and had a memorial built in Shinran's memory. Then, with financial help of Shinran's followers, she created a mausoleum and a process to make sure that it was taken care of forever. Even though she was never recognized as an official caretaker of the mausoleum, in my mind, she was the first person to hold the position that we now call Monshu. And she was the only woman in that line to act in that capacity. The process she set up started with her grandson, and it was passed down from father to son for the next 24 generations. The picture on the wall over there by the organ is the current Gamonshu, Senyo Shonin, the 25th generational descendant of Shinran Shonin. If it had not been for Kakushinni's efforts, it's doubtful that the world would ever have known who Shinran was. So 2 women who played the traditional roles of daughter, then wife, then mother, also provided all of us with the opportunity to be part of a now centuries-old religious tradition from Japan. Not bad for a couple of girls, right? As a society, we're trying to get better at helping girls and women live to their full potential. Many of you are aware that women's professional sports are growing in popularity and finally giving women opportunities that men have had for over 100 years. In the business world, more women are leading teams and companies, but there's still a long way to go before things are equal or fair. At the Institute of Buddhist Studies, which is where we go for our education so that we eventually can become ministers, there's now an Eshinni and Kakushinni professor of women and Buddhist studies. The first person serving in that chair is Dr. Paula Arai. We're making progress, but there's a long way to go. Today, however, we celebrate the contributions of 2 women from Japan who provided for us the opportunity to be part of one of the largest Buddhist traditions in the world. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Jones. Please rise to sing Gatha Farewell on page 45 in the Little Service Book, followed by the Promise located on page 5 in the Little Book or page 15 in the Big Book.
Dharma school is over for another day. Let us gather round the shrine, bow our heads and say, thank you, teacher, for your help. Thank you, everyone. Buddha's love will keep us safe till our work is done. So we'll meet again next week. Won't you take good care? Let us try to do what's right, always kind and fair. We shall spread the happiness faith in Buddha brings. Now it's time to say goodbye till we meet again. Namu Amida Butsu, sing this fine refrain. Namu Amida Butsu, sunny day or rain. Namu Amida Butsu, strong in faith remain. Namu Amida Butsu, till we meet again.
The Promise. We thank the Buddha for showing us the way of freedom. We will endeavor to walk in his noble path every day of our lives. Namu Amida Butsu.
Namu Amida Butsu.
Namu Amida Butsu.
Namu Amida.
Namu Amida
Namu
Butsu.
Amida.
Thank you to Rinban Sakamoto, Reverend Mikame, Reverend Jones, Organist Mrs. Jones, and AV Coordinator Mr. Endo. Are there any announcements?
Just a reminder that we will still have the scrapbook pages for you to write a short message and sign your name to it for Rinban Sakamoto's retirement. So this will be in the back of the Hondo every Sunday through December. So, and we'll try for Bodhi Day, but not sure. Thank you.
Oh, that's all. Okay, thank you. So I want to thank family. We'd like to thank all of you for all the help and support that we received over the years. As you know, we'll be retiring at the end of this year. And as a kind of expression of our gratitude, the family has prepared a small gift for the families here. And so as you leave, I'll be handing them out to each of the families that are here this morning. And again, thank you so much. Last week was a retirement party. Had a wonderful time. I hope some of you were able to join us at that time. But this morning, I'll be handing out this kind of a small gift from us, the Sakamotos, to each of you for the support that we received over the years. Thank you.
Good morning, Patty Canetta here. I just wanted to thank all the students that decorated the Chochin for Rinban's retirement party. The artwork was absolutely amazing. It's really difficult to see because they are actually hanging from the second floor railing. Okay, so during snacks, if you get a chance, go up to the second floor and take a look at it. But again, thank you so much, students, for your cooperation, your talents, for sharing that, and for the two teachers that helped, Erica Tsukimura and Kimiko Rodriguez. Thank you very much for your cooperation, as opposed to the other teachers, but thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Mas Nishimura, and I'm basically trying to get people for the junior choir. So if you like to sing, and if you don't have to be really good at it, we will train you. We will make you a better singer. So if you like to sing, we will be meeting here in the Hondo after the adult service. So about 10 minutes after 11, we'll be here. So just come on by. This is no commitment or anything. We'll be having a little bit of an introductory session, and you can sing a couple of songs. I know you know how to sing, okay? Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is just a reminder. So on December 7th is our Bodhi Day service, and so it's a special service. So we'll have our special service. I believe it's the normal, is that right? Normal Dharma school and the normal adult service. Following the service, we will, everyone who's available can come across the street. We're going to have a ceremonial groundbreaking for our new Dharma Center. So it'd be a good opportunity to go take a look. We'll have some renderings of what it's going to look like. There's an outline there's actually a painted outline on the parking lot, so you can actually see where the building's going to go and how big it's going to be. It's pretty impressive. Following that it'll be a short ceremonial service. We're going to return over here to this side. We're going to have lunch, and an annual Bodhi Day lunch. After that, later in the afternoon, I'm sure everyone will go home, but if you can stick around, that's great. We're going to have at 3 o'clock, we're going to have our annual membership meeting. It's open to anyone in the Sangha. And so we'll go over the year, stuff that happened in the year. It's kind of a review what's going on. So we'll have a service, that meeting at 3 o'clock. It is a hybrid meeting though, so if you want to view that from home, you're able to do that also. But it's great, it's just an opportunity to let everyone know what's going on. Basically that's it. Okay, we do that every year. Thank you.
Before everyone leaves the temple, please strain all the books for the next service. Those of you who are interested are welcome to attend the adult English service following this service. For your safety, please obey the crossing guards and look both ways before crossing the street. Thank you for attending today's service.
Before you leave, a couple of corrections. Mr. Moss, I'm sorry, we have a Japanese language service at 11. Across the street? Is where? Upstairs? Okay. So those of you who are interested in joining the junior choir, and I hope a lot of you join, overwhelm Mr. Moss and have a whole bunch of people participate. And then Bodhi Day actually is 10 o'clock service in the annex building. So we'll have a joint special service this morning. Not this morning, the morning of Bodhi Day, December the 7th. Again, thank you very much, everyone. Please come forward for shoko. Good morning.
Nice to have you back. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, no, you gave we have already. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Oh, good. Okay, thank you.
No, just Chris, Simon, and I used to share.
Let me see if they're ready.
Hello. My name is Heather Kitasoy, and I'd like to welcome everyone to this morning's Eshinni Kakushinni Lady Ohtani Memorial Service. Before we begin this morning's service, just a reminder that there should be no food or drinks in the hondo. Also, please turn off your cell phones. Thank you. Do we have anyone here for the first time? No. Oh, yay, welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself? No? It's okay. Well, welcome and hope you enjoy today's service. We will begin this morning's service with Sanbujo on page 24 in the large service book, followed by Sutra Chanting, Sanbutsuge, on page 22 in the small Dharma School service book, and page 79 in the large service book. The page numbers for the Sutra book will be displayed on the front screen and on your monitors at home, so please follow along. Now we will have the families of late BWA members come to Oshoko. Jun Kuwada for BWA member Aiko Arita. Thank you. Now we'll have Daioshoko. We'll start off with Michelle Katakura, representing the families. Steve Onishi, representing the Betsuin board. And Phyllis Sujimoto, representing the BWA. Thank you. Please rise for Gatha, Seiya, which is on page 226 in the large service book, and please remain standing for Kie Mon on page 6 of the large service book, and the three treasures, page 3 in the small Dharma school service book.
Kie Mon. Ninjin ukegatashi, ima sure ni uku. 仏法を聞きがたし、今すでに聞く。好み、根性に向かってとせずんば。さらに譲りの章に向かってか、好みをどせん。大衆もとともに、指針に参謀に消し、立てまつるべし。自ら別に消し立てまつる。まさに願わくは主情とともに、大道を体現して、無常を起こさん。自ら法に消し立てまつる。まさに願わくは主情とともに、深く教蔵に入りて、知恵、海のごとくならん。自らそうに消し立てまつる。まさに願わくは主情とともに、大衆を通りして、一切無下ならん。無常人人微妙の方は、百千万語にもあよことかたし、我今検問し、従事することを得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し立てまつらん。Three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life? Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One? Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves our supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namada. Thank you.
And now Rinban Sakamoto will give this morning's Dharma talk.
Good morning. Welcome to this morning's service. To those of you who are watching on the internet, welcome as well. Today we observe the Eshinni, Kakushinni, and Lady Ohtani memorial service. These are three women who have made great contributions to Jodo Shinshu, and are remembered for these contributions. And each of them, in their own way, worked in very difficult times in history. Lady Ohtani, during the earthquake, I think it was a Kobe earthquake, where she gathered resources to help people who had lost their homes, unable to find food in order to survive. She went in to that area and began to organize, to bring people together, to bring resources together to help with individuals who had lost everything during that earthquake. In part, she also is remembered because of how she organized women to form an organization that would continue to help others, continue to share the Dharma. And so Lady Ohtani is remembered at this service. It used to be where we remembered, used to be the Eshinni, Kakushinni service. And Lady Ohtani's name was added fairly recently. I would think maybe about maybe 25 years ago when her name was added to this service. And I think it's appropriate, important to remember that remember Lady Ohtani's contributions to the sharing of Jodo Shinshu and the way in which she did that by helping people of her community. Eshinni and Kakushinni, we all know, are Eshinni was Shinran Shonin's wife, and Kakushinni, their youngest daughter. There are different stories or understanding of what happened when Shinran left the Echigo area when he was returning to Kyoto. As we know in the story of Shinran, he was a student of Honen. There was a lot of rivalry between the other established schools of Buddhism and the group that Shinran, that Honen was beginning to grow. And as that group began to grow, the established Buddhist traditions began to be concerned. And eventually, that group was disbanded. So Honen's group, there was an incident that took place in the imperial household that caused eventually for the emperor to ban this group. And there were, I think, 3 people that were executed as a result of this. Honen was sent to the south, to Tosa, and Shinran sent to the north, to Echigo, or what we know today as Niigata. It's there that Shinran, again, not clear, but it's there that Shinran, it's married, although at that time, what we kind of think of as marriage in the Western world is very different from what marriage is in Asian countries, or in Japan in particular. We tend to see these relationships as being kind of stable relationships that exist over a long period of time, that the male and female husband and wife work together to establish a household, establish a family. But 800 years ago, not quite like it is today. There are still traditions and practices that are a part of Japanese culture. But again, our image of this relationship in a household is probably very different from our understanding of what took place in the time of Shinran's life. And at that time, the culture was changing from a matriarchal society into a patriarchal society where in the time of Eshinni, it wasn't uncommon for women to be the head of household, to be the stable force within a household, and that men would come and be a part of that household, but then would often, over some time, leave that household, either to go and do whatever they wanted to do, or enter another relationship in another household. But the stable force in the household of Eshinni's time, and prior to that, was a matriarchal household. So the stable force was the women of the household. And that's why when Eshinni, when Shinran met Eshinni in Echigo, and again, we think he may have possibly met Eshinni earlier, and that's why when he got to Echigo, he was able to, he knew Eshinni, and they established this relationship. But it's possible that they may have met in earlier in Kyoto, because Eshinni's father was an individual whose land holdings, kept him in Kyoto. So some of the politics that were prevalent at that time, we're not, if we use our current understanding of relationships and marriage and household, we would get a kind of not a clear view of what was happening in the time of Shinran. Because Eshinni's father may have been a holder of large properties, in order to, in a sense, control those individuals, they had to report to the imperial household in Kyoto, or kept close to the imperial household in Kyoto, where they could, the imperial household and the families, the ruling families in Japan, were able to maintain some control over the properties that were being managed by people outside of Kyoto. So, very different from what we expect in our current society. And it's important to understand that, to get some historical context about the time in which Shinran and Eshinni lived. When, again, Michael Sensei kind of described this one process, and there are other descriptions of what took place when Shinran and Eshinni and their family left Echigo and it's not clear that the intent was to return to Kyoto, because when they left Echigo, they stayed in the Kanto region. So Echigo is the northern Japan seaside, so the western coast of Japan, current day Niigata. It's a cold area, and it's on the ocean. So, and the reason Shinran was sent there was this was a kind of a penal colony. It wasn't quite Pitcairn's Island, but it was a penal colony that he was sent to. And the approach to Echigo was from the sea, and so he was brought in from the sea and placed in Echigo. After Shinran, and that he so quickly established the family with Eshinni, kind of lends some credit to the idea that they may have known each other in Kyoto, earlier in Kyoto, because of her father's necessity to be in Kyoto. But when he went to Niigata, to Echigo, and he met Eshinni again, they established a family, a household, and their children were born there in Echigo. Shinran continued to be involved with the study of Buddhism, his understanding, trying to deepen his understanding of what he had been taught by his teacher, Honen. And there is some thought that the reason Shinran and his family relocated to the Kanto region of Japan, and Kanto is the Tokyo area of Japan, and just west of that area, kind of northwest of Tokyo, there was a growing population. It's kind of their agriculture was beginning to expand. Farmers were beginning to establish themselves, and so it was a place of activity, of expansion, and there was thought to be a library in that Kanto region that had significant Buddhist writings, and it was one of the reasons that Shinran may have decided to come to Kanto, the Kanto region, and he stayed there for several decades, or 2, maybe 3 decades. and he continued to study and share what he understood of what he had learned from his teacher, Honen. And they stayed there long enough that there were several temples that were established during that time period that he remained with his family in that Kanto region. There are stories of, one story in particular, the story of the Yamabushi who plotted to kill Shinran because of Shinran's influence and the people who are starting to be attracted to Shinran. That story of this mountain priest's attempt to assassinate or to kill Honen has become a very important part of the lore of Shinran. This is Bennen who plotted to kill Honen. And I guess there were several attempts to try and kill him, and he waited on the mountain path, but for some reason, Shinran took another route, and so that Bennen was not able to kill him at that time. And so he went to the home, a place where Shinran was living, with the intent of killing Shinran there. But Shinran was able to invite Bennen in to talk with Bennen, and eventually Bennen realized the importance of what Shinran was doing and abandoned his own beliefs and began to study with Shinran. So Shinran, was in that area long enough to establish temples, establish a reputation that others were either appreciated or concerned about. And after some time, Shinran decided to continue on to Kyoto. And when that decision was made, at least again in my understanding of what happened, Eshinni decided to return to take care of her family's property. And Shinran and their youngest daughter continued on to Kyoto. And in Kyoto, for the next several decades, Kakushinni took care of Shinran. The letters of Eshinni, that were exchanged between Eshinni and Kakushinni are the only source, or the primary source of what was taking place in that time. These letters are from a period after the death of Shinran. But in the exchange of letters, there was some insight into the kinds of circumstances that they were living under. Shinran has already died. Eshinni is in her 90s, and she sends some things to Kakushinni every once in a while. But in her letter, she talks about the physical difficulties that she's experiencing, her eyesight going, hard to get up and move around, things that we encounter as we age. But unlike Eshinni, we have things that we can do to help in those times. But Eshinni continued to take care of the people who came to her for help. And again, the head of household was Eshinni. People that came to Eshinni were either people who were entrusted to her as not quite indentured servants, but as people who became attached to Eshinni's household. And so she, in part, became responsible for these individuals who came to her for her help. And there's discussion in the letters about how she had to kind of entrust some of them later on in her life to other people to have them take care of these people who came to her. And so it's, again, if we think about our circumstances, they're very different from the society and times in which Eshinni and Shinnan and Kakushinni lived. It's almost as if, not quite property, the exchange of people coming in and out of a household that Eshinni was responsible for. And Kakushinni, again, the youngest daughter of Eshinni and Shinnan, was in Kyoto with her father, taking care of her father. And in the last years of his life, was there with Shinnan. After Shinnan's death, Kakushinni was able to manage to secure property where Shinnan's mausoleum was built. And Kakushinni was able to, again, there was a relationship that Kakushinni had with an individual who had property, and that property was then secured for this mausoleum. But in securing that property, Kakushinni made sure in the agreement with this, the property, that her family were assured of a continual security of this property. And the members of the Kanto Monto, so the members of the temples that were built while Shinnan was in the Kanto region, she received their support in the building of this mausoleum, the securing of the property, and negotiating the security of her family's assurance that they would remain in that position. And that position originally was rusushiki, basically caretaker. So their original position of this mausoleum where Shinnan's remains were interred were as caretakers of this mausoleum. Today we think of the Honganji as this huge, big place. If you ever visit the Honganji, it's a beautiful, wonderful place. And if you have a chance to visit the Ohtani Honbyo and the Meichodo, if you do get a chance to visit the Meichodo, it is a remarkable structure built centuries ago. But it's an open, and this is of course the original location of Shinnan's remains, but the original structure where Shinnan remains are interred. But it's different in the way that it's built almost in sections. There's a front section, and before, we weren't allowed into this Meichodo, but at the World Buddhist Women's Conference in Kyoto a few years ago, people were allowed into the Meichodo. So we were able to go into the Meichodo and see how this temple is different in that it's built almost in layers, and it's there's a front where you can enter area, and then there's another section behind that you can view, and then beyond that there's where the remains of Shinnan are located. But if you get a chance to visit the Meichodo, some of the materials, things like flower racks, other important things inside the Meichodo was built by Mr. Ito, who was the person who came to help us at the time of our centennial to renovate and decorate our onaijin. And Mr. Ito was the head of their guild Buddhist articles, builders or makers of Buddhist articles. And Mr. Ito did some of the articles that are in the Meichodo. But Kakushinni was able to, again, negotiate and secure this position as the Juseige of this mausoleum, the Ohtani Honbyo, Ohtani Mausoleum. And because of that, her family continues to be the head of the Honganji. There was no Honganji at that time. It was until later, after Shinnan's death, that he was given the posthumous name of Kenshin. And so in some hondos you'll see, rather than seeing the plaque of Kaihozo, you might see the name Kenshin there. But it's because of Eshinni, Kakushinni, that we're able to get some sense of Shinnan's life, what he did, get some sense of the decisions that he might have made in the latter part of his life, or throughout his life really, the decision to go to Kanto and eventually to separate from Eshinni, returning to Echigo and Shinnan and Kakushinni going on to Kyoto. And so through their writings, we were able to clearly establish, and as Joan Sensei mentioned in the first, the Dharma school talk, that it was really unclear until the 1920s whether Shinnan was an actual person. It wasn't until these letters that were discovered in a warehouse by someone kind of looking through the documents that had been saved. And I imagine that this warehouse is kind of like Warehouse 13. Or are you familiar with Warehouse 13? Anybody? No? Warehouse 13 is a science fiction? No? Or Indiana Jones, kind of a digging through these large collection of antiques. But it was through those letters that we know that there was this person who lived in 12th century Japan, whose life became the inspiration for many people, whose teaching and understanding of the Dharma has meant so much to so many. And it is because of the writings of Kakushinni and Eshinni and the commitment and the hardships that they endured that have firmly set Jodo Shinshu within the teachings of Buddhism. Today we observe this memorial service, remembering Eshinni, Kakushinni, and Lady Ohtani for their contributions to their communities, their societies in which they lived, and also for the contributions that have established Jodo Shinshu as a tradition that has affected the life of many millions of people, including ourselves. And so with gratitude and appreciation, we observe this Eshinni, Kakushinni, Lady Ohtani Memorial Service today. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rinban. Please rise for Gatha and Ondokusan II on page 76 in the small Dharma School service book.
Ondokusan Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. Please be seated.
Are there any announcements?
While everybody is coming up, I want to thank everyone for all of your support during our stay here at the Betsuin, and for the wonderful retirement party we had last Saturday. At the retirement party, we wanted to pass out a small gift expressing our appreciation for what we've received during our time here at the Betsuin. And Larry was responsible, but he didn't really. So, Larry, but there was so much stuff going on. It was really wonderful, really wonderful time. And our intent was to pass out these small gifts as, again, our expression of appreciation to each of you. And it didn't happen. So what I'd like to do as you leave this service today is to, again, take this opportunity to thank all of you for all that we've been able to enjoy and experience here at the Betsuin as an expression of our appreciation on behalf of the family. Thank you very much. Oh, equal.
Well, first of all, we did pass those out.
Okay. Oh, yeah, and don't
Yes,
forget those.
and we have trading cards of Rinban if you want to know about him, too. There were so many people, that's why there were a lot more here. Sorry, I'm here to just remind you and invite you to the Grateful Crane Ensemble performance next Sunday. It's BCA sponsored, and it was commissioned by the bishop in honor of the 125th anniversary of the BCA. Those of you who went to the FBWA conference last year, you saw the witty group. They depicted 3 generations of BWA women, and we hadn't changed a bit in 3 generations. There is a bento lunch, but the count is going in tomorrow. So we have flyers in the multipurpose room, or you might call the office. You can pay later. If you're only coming to the performance, it's at 1 o'clock. But this is the start. They'd like to take it all over the United States, but San Francisco and San Jose, we are the first ones. So we hope you can take opportunity to see it. Thank you.
For those of you who attended the retirement party but were not able to sign a scrapbook page with your special message and signature, we have the scrapbook pages at the back of the room. And also for those of you who were not able to attend the event, please sign a scrapbook page. We'll have these every Sunday through the end of the year. I'm not sure about Bodhi Day yet, but definitely at the back of the Hondo. Thank you.
I'm from the Sangha Support Committee, and I wanted to announce a couple of big events we have coming up. Sorry, I short. First of all, on November 23rd, we're having a gingerbread house making demonstration, and this is given by Michelle Imokawa, part of the membership here. She's a student of the Culinary Academy in San Francisco, and she's going to demonstrate and help us make a gingerbread house for the holidays. So if you're interested, it will be $25 a person, but it should be worthwhile. It'll be in the multipurpose room at 11:30. Our next event will be spring vegetable gardening, and this is on February 8th, which I know is Super Bowl Sunday. I just found out. But this will be in a boardroom, and will be done by. It's from 11:30 to 1, and it's a person from Master Gardeners will speak on how to grow tomatoes, green beans, and squash. So the speaker is Jeannie Paris. She's from the Santa Clara County Master Gardeners. So if you're interested in any of this, I could get your name and back so that you don't have to call the church. Thank you.
Super Bowl Sunday anyway, so I think it's usually the game's a little bit later, so you'll have time. And then if you avoid Santa Clara, it's going to be pretty crowded over in Santa Clara on Super Bowl Sunday. Lady Ohtani, any relation to Shohei?
Yeah, I heard that there was a portrait of Ohtani on a hotel in Japantown in
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh, they put up a painting of the Gomonshu, but it was Shohei Ohtani.
Sorry. No, I don't think anyone's going to stop in the street and take a picture of the Monshu. But yeah, we happened to be there, and it takes up the whole side of this huge building, and people were stopping in the middle of the street, jump out, take a picture of this thing. It's just amazing. It's the Shohei craze is just going crazy. Anyway, so my announcement is about Bodhi Day on December 7th. I messed it up in the first thing. So we have a special service. Bodhi Day is a special service. The service will begin at 10 o'clock in the gym. It'll be a nice service. And then immediately after the service, please join us across the street. We're going to have a quick little ceremonial groundbreaking for our new Dharma Center. So we expect to start that shortly. But we'll have some renderings of what the new building's going to look like. There's actually a painted outline on the parking lot ground, so you can get an idea where the building's going to be and actually how big it's going to be. It's pretty impressive. Again, it's just a ceremonial thing, very quick thing, and it's just a reminder that, yes, we haven't quite reached our donation goal, so hopefully we can get some other people kicking in here at the end of the year, take advantage of the year-end stuff. After that, we'll return back to the annex over here for our annual luncheon, so we always have a Bodhi Day luncheon here, so please join us for that. Later in the afternoon, at 3 o'clock, we're going to have the annual membership meetings open to members of the Sangha. You can either join us here in the Hondo at 3 o'clock, or it will be actually hybrid service, so it'll be available on the Google Meets. We have the link somewhere. Someone, get that information. So please join us. Hopefully, we'll see everyone there. Thank you.
Hi, this is Gilbert Greeter. I've been away for 1 month, so I'm slow spotting our new friend. Today I only spot one new friend. That's Sisi Zai over there. So please welcome her at our after service reception. Try to make her feel comfortable. Try to educate her about our Jodo Shinshu. So we hope to see you next week. Thank you.
Thanks, Hubert.
Thank you, Rinban Sakamoto, Reverend Mikame, Reverend Mike, Organist Elaine Jones, and our AV coordinator. I would also like to thank Trisha Yamaichi and Elaine Jones for writing to the families of our late BWA members. Thank you to Linda Iwasaki, Karen Hiranaga, and the other BWA members for all the refreshments. And thank you for attending this morning's service. We will now have closing gassho. Please come forward to incense offering, and I hope to see everyone in the multi-purpose room for refreshments.
Gassho, please. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much, everyone. Please come forward for shoko. And there's a Japanese language service if you'd like to remain and attend that. Reverend Mikame will be giving the Japanese language service this afternoon, immediately following today's service. Thank you. Thanks, Heather.
Sorry.
No, I've been really bad about communicating.
No, but you've been so busy. I did some of this minute. I did it like a month ago. Time flies by.
Yeah, it's so quick.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cards? Yes. Would you like to?
Oh yeah, Dad, did you get one of these?
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I know. Hope you got some.
Thanks for throwing me under the bus.
Always happy to do so.
Oh my God. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Yeah, no, thanks. Hi, how are you? Oh, okay. We'll get another one, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
When are we gonna have another party?
I know.
We gotta have one every week.
Sensei, the board's up there, right behind me. Sure. So I already pulled the board up. Okay, so what's up there?
Do I need to look dignified? Might be too late.
Yeah, too late. I guess something for the BCA.
Yeah.
You know about this?
No. Something about Ikosanga or...
Yeah, okay. I think that's good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Japanese language.
So are you gonna pass those out in Japanese language?
Yeah, there's only like a few people.
じゃあもうすぐ始めますね。ちょっと待っとってください。じゃあお願いします。おはようございます。お久しぶりです、皆さん。先週の28日ですね、やっと帰ってきました。本当にしばらくぶりで7ヶ月から8ヶ月かなぐらいかな、はい、日本でちょっと過ごして帰ってまいりました。本当に皆さんに会えて、こうしてね、またお勤めができること、本当にありがたいなと思います。はい、じゃあですね、今日のお勤めについてご説明します。こちらの大きなブックの何ページだったかいな、ごめんなさい。じゅうせいげをお勤めしますね。93ページ、じゅうせいげのお勤めをさせていただきます。で、その後ですね、何ページだったかいな、あれ、ちょっと待ってくださいね。この来三門7ページのところですね、三帰依文来三門のところをですね、その後皆さんと一緒に読みますので、93ページと7ページほどちょっと指で押さえておいてください。はい、そしたら、ご一緒にお務めさせていただきます。
はい、ありがとうございます。久しぶりに大きなお堂でお勤めができてすごく嬉しいです。はい、そうしましたら、9ページですね。この大きなブックの9ページの来3問、三帰依文のところ、7ページでした。私なっていました。7ページね。すみません。自分の言ってることもわからなくなってしまいまして。すいません。はい。では皆さんは、絵集一同のところご一緒に、ご唱和ください。来3問、三帰依文。人参受けがたし、今すでに浮く。仏法聞きがたし、今すでに聞く。好み根性に向かってどせずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かってか、好みをどせん。大衆もろともに、指針に参謀に帰依し立てまつるべし。自ら仏に帰依し立てまつる。まさに願わくば主情とともに、大道を大下して無常意を起こさん。自ら法に帰依し立てまつる。まさに願わくば主情とともに、深く胸像に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自ら僧に帰依し立てまつる。まさに願わくば主情とともに、大衆を通りして一切無下ならん。無常人人未明の方は、百千万号にも愛をことかたし、我今検問し、授事することを得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し立てまつらん。ナマンダーブツナマンダーブツナマンダー。はい、ありがとうございます。そうしましたら、少しばかりお話をさせていただこうと思います。本当にこの7ヶ月8ヶ月は自分のお寺のね、皆さん見てくださってたかちょっとあれですけれども、島根県、日本の島根県のお寺から毎回ビデオを撮って、送らせてもらってたんですけれども、すごく田舎でして、週に1回ですね、必ず私が週に1回ですね、なんていうか、たい焼き屋さんがね通るんですよ。音楽鳴らしてね、泳げたい焼きくんの音が聞こえて、たい焼きとたこ焼きをね、売りに来られる方がいらっしゃるんですけど、大体私がそのお勤めとこのお話をねレコーディングする時必ず通ってこられるんですよね。だからいつもね何回か撮り直してて、そうもう通り過ぎたかなと思ったらまた帰ってきたりとかですね、いろいろハプニングがありながらの、はい、レコーディングをさせてもらって、こうしてね皆さんが三の瀬で見るようにさせてもらっていました。はい、こうやってねまた皆さんの前でお話ができてすごく嬉しく思います。はい、じゃあねお話をさせていただこうと思うんですけれども、浄土真宗だけじゃなくて、この仏教の中でですね、お経の中で本当にお経の中にはですね、例え話っていうのがたくさんあるわけなんです。この仏様の悟りっていうのは例えばなんていうか水のごとくあふれてもう全てのところに全ての人の命のもとに届いていくとかですね、育てていくとかいろんな、言葉でもって例え話でもって仏様のお徳をこう、ね、表現されるわけなんですけれども、っていうのも仏様のこのお悟りっていうのはもともとはお経の言葉を借りますと、色も形もなくってつかみどころがない、人間の理解をもうはるかに超えていって、本当にもう一回言いますけどつかみどころがない、わからないものなんだっていうふうに言われます、ね。でも、言葉で私たちはその仏様のお悟りを表す言葉っていうのはたくさん知っています。法だったり真如だったり、滅度とかね、いろいろ一如とかいろんな言葉で表すことはできるんですけども、どれほど言葉でこう重ねてもね、どの言葉を重ねても仏様の悟りをこんなものですよという一言で語り尽くす言い尽くすことっていうのはねできないんだっていうふうに言われています。それはやっぱりつかみどころがない仏様のお悟り、私たち人間の理解し尽くすことができないものなんだよっていうふうに言われます。だからたくさんの お経の中には例え話でもってね、こう通して私たちに人間に分かりやすくねお話語ってくださっているわけなんです。じゃあその例え話をもって、どんなふうになんていうかね私たちに伝わってくるのかっていうことなんですけれども、例えば、私のね日本のお寺にはですね大きな犬がいたわけなんです。名前を舞ちゃん、舞と言いますけれどもね、大きな秋田犬の犬なんですけれども、私はその日本にいる間は毎朝毎夕日課でねお散歩にいつも、お世話をねお散歩を連れて行ってお世話をするうちに、すっかり慣れてくれたわけなんですけれども、この舞っていうのはね、舞という犬、皆さんは見たこともないし触ったこともないし、ね、一緒に歩いたこともないですから、どんなものかどんな犬なのかとかどんなに可愛いものなのかっていうのはね多分わからない、ね、その舞ちゃん、この今目の前にもいないその舞の可愛らしさをどんなふうに伝えるかっていうと、やっぱり例え話を使ってねこんな犬なんだよっていうふうに話すことができると思います。舞ちゃんっていうのは柴犬の3倍ぐらい、例えば香炉の台のぐらいの大きさで、ね、結構大きいんですよ。でね、毛はふわふわで綿あめみたいなんですね。で、あったかい日にはうちにはねお寺のお堂があるんですけれども、お堂の下でもビヨーンって体を伸ばしてね日向ぼっこをする姿が見られるんですね。それはまるでモントレーのアザラシみたいな本当にビヤーンってこの体をね伸ばしてるわけなんです。っていうように仮に表現したとしますと、なんとなく舞ちゃんってこんな犬なんだなっていうのは少し伝わりましたかね。こんな風に私たちはちょっと似ているものの例えを使って、伝えたいこと、目の前で見えてないものをこう人に伝えようとするわけなんだと思います。少しなんとなく舞ちゃんの輪郭だけは少したどれたと思うんですけども、やっぱり一目見たらどんなものかっていうのは分かると思う。ちょっと見せます一応。あるかな。待ってくださいね。もう一目で見たらこんな犬なんだなっていうのはこれです。ちょっと見にくいかもしれないけど、これちょっとちっちゃい頃ですね。すごく大きな犬なんですね。こんなふわふわなまた後から近くで見てもらったらいいと思うんですけども、写真を見てこれが舞ちゃんなんだなっていうふうに分かると思います。このように例えっていうのは、私たちの人間の世界でもねよく使うと思いますけれども、相手の知らないものについて説明したり語るために伝えるために便利なものだと思います。で、相手に理解されるためにこうやって例え話を使って、でもう分かったら、一目見たりしたらもうその例え話っていうのは排除されていきます。もう使わなくても舞ちゃんっていうのはこんな犬なんだって分かる。でこういうのをですねサンスクリット語でそういう例えのことをウッパーヤっていうふうに言うんですね。で伝えたいこと、真実に引き入れるための、仮のもの、例えっていうことなんですね。じゃあこの浄土真宗のお経の中でよくその仏様のお悟りを伝えるために使われる例えっていうのは何かっていうと、光っていうふうに言われます。皆さん光の中におるわけですけど、光もねいろんな光がありますけども、光っていう例えを使ってこの親鸞上人、このね浄土真宗の教えを伝えてくださった親鸞上人のご著書の中にもね、この仏様のお悟り、阿弥陀様のお悟りっていうのは光ですよ、光のようなものですよっていうふうにねもう繰り返し出てくるわけです。でも光イコールこれが仏様、阿弥陀様っていうわけではありません。光の働きを通して、光の火を通して私たちにどんなこの仏様のっていうのはどんなものなのかっていうのをね伝えようとしてくださってるっていうのをね私たちは聞かせてもらうわけです。でこの仏様の功徳っていうのはよく知恵と慈悲ですよって2つの働きがありますよっていうふうに言われます。それを光の特徴を 例えにして伝えるのが一番分かりやすいんだっていうふうに言われるんですね。まず、慈悲からいきましょう。光っていうのは、照らす場所を選びませんね。照らす対象も選びませんね。あの人は照らさないっていうわけじゃない。みんなに照らすって、みんなを照らしていくのが光だと思います。また光が当たると、太陽のね光に当たるとですね、なんとなくあったかいなって、感じることがあると思います。光っていうのは照らす対象をぬくめてくれる。そして照らす命をね守ってくれて、それをねまた水をやったりして、芽が出てくるようにね植物が、光っていうのは命を育てて守っていくっていうことがあります。その特徴がねまさに仏様の慈悲の心と重なるところがありますよってことでね、光を通して慈悲っていうことを語られることがあります。もう一つ、知恵っていうのもねまた光を通して、語られることがあるんですね。例えばここのお部屋ですね、実は電気を消してしまうと真っ暗になるんですね、やっぱり。でもつけるとパッと明るくなる。もうよく見えなかったものがパッと光が当たることによって見えるようになる。真っ暗な夜の中でも、なんていうんですかね、パソコンをしたりテレビを見たりとか料理をしたりできることっていうのはできるのは光、ライトがね私たちの生活を照らしてくれているから、手元を照らしてくれているから、目に見えるものに見せてくれている。で光っていうのは、私の命にあたってこの見えるように、ありのままが見えるようにっていうこと、その働きはまさに仏様の知恵の働きに重なるところがありますよってことで、知恵と慈悲は光っていうことでね、同じ光を通して2つの側面を、例えて教えてくださっているわけです。じゃあその仏様の光の働き、知恵で例えば照らされて明らかになる、ものを光を当ててありのまま見せてくれる、見えるようにしてくれるっていうことが、光の働き、知恵の働きですから、何がどんな姿かっていうとですね、お釈迦様は親鸞聖人もおっしゃる、仏教では私の姿っていうのは無明ですよっていうふうに言われます。光を当てて明らかになってるはずなのに、無明っていうのはない、明かりがないっていうふうに書きますけどもね、光を当ててもらってるはずなのに明かりがない、明るくないっていうふうにおっしゃるわけです。性格が明るくないとかそういうわけじゃなくって、真実に明るくないですよっていうふうに言われています。真実の道理が正しく見られてないっていうことを無明っていうふうに仏教では言います。愚かさ、自分の愚かさが光によって照らされて分かっていくんですよって。でも私たちは、これでもね、この世界何年か30何年、私は30何年か生きてて分かっとるつもりで、見えているものは大体知って把握しているつもりであるけれども、実は、私が見ている世界っていうのはこの私の目でしか見ていない、切り取っていなくって、私の頭でしか考えて捉えられていない、私の都合を交えて見ている世界だからちょっと歪んでる。でそういうのを実は無明なんだよって、本当はちゃんと見えてるようで見えていない、そういう無明を抱えているのが私なんですよっていうふうにね、親鸞聖人、お釈迦様もね教えてくださっているわけです。そしてこうやって仏教をですね繰り返し聞かせていただく中でですね、日常生活の中の出来事でもね、自然と自分でも気づかんかったなっていう、その無明のね自分の姿っていうのがちょっとずつ自分でも気づいていくようになるわけなんです。こんなことがありました。私ねアメリカに来て、もう5年ぐらい経ちましたけれども、何が楽しみかっていうと食べ物が楽しみでですね、やっぱり食べることが大好きですから、タコスだったりアメリカのバーベキューのだったりね、ポケとかフォーとかハンバーガーとかね、いろんな料理をね食べさせてもらってきました。で日本に帰っていく前のね5年間で当初来たね その日本にからこっちに来たての頃と体重比べてみたらですね、10キロぐらい太りました。実は10キロぐらい、もうご飯がね美味しくて、それぐらい楽しみだったわけです。でもね、そんだけたくさん食べてきましたけれども、試していないご飯があるんですね。ちょっと興味がまだあるんです。それはタマレス、タマレわかんない。タマレ、これね、私もまだどんなものか知らないんですけども、実物まだ見たことなくて、インターネットでどんなものか調べたらですね、トウモロコシの粉を材料としている生地で、お肉とかお豆をなどこう包んだ、なんだろう、餃子みたいな感じなんですかね。それをトウモロコシの葉っぱ、全然違うかな、分かんないけど、トウモロコシの葉っぱとかバナナの葉っぱに包んで蒸したメキシコ料理なんだそうです。タマレスで、これはですね、クリスマスとか特別な時にしか食べないですかね。どんなものか全くわからないんですけども、私のお友達で、同じように食べることが好きで、いろいろ一緒にご飯食べに行った人がね、タマレスっていうのは美味しいんだよって何度も教えてくれるわけですから、じゃあでもクリスマス、だいたいクリスマスって言ったらどっか行ってたりしてね、食べれなかったものですから、じゃあ自分で作ってみようかなってアメリカ行った時ですね、ちょっと行ってみたんです。そしたらですね、その友達は「いやダメだよ、タマレスはすごい手間がねかかるんだよ、作るのに。だからね、もう専門の人が本当に一生懸命作って美味しいやつを食べた方がいい」っていうふうに言われました。で、私はそうなんだなと思って、でも餃子みたいな、餃子じゃないと思うんですけどね、そうちょっとなんとなくできそうだなと思って、でもどれほど時間かかるんだろうってずっと思って過ごしてきた。でも作ったことはなかったんですね。で、この7ヶ月8ヶ月日本にいた時ね、時間はありましたから実際に作ってみることにしました。したんです。まず日本でも手に入る材料をですね使って一番簡単にできるレシピをネットで調べました。よし、これだなっていうふうに、これに沿ってやろうって。でも最初にね、壁にぶち当たったんですね。っていうのも、私が住んでいる島根県っていうのは本当に田舎で、そのね、なんていうかインポートのそういうね食材とかはね、なかなかすぐ手に入らないわけなんですね。で、その手に入らなかった食材が2つありました。まずタマレスの生地を包むトウモロコシかバナナの皮、どっちかが必要か、それとマサコ、トウモロコシをすりつぶした粉っていうのがもうあるわけがないんですね。ちょっとね、一生懸命イオンとか探したんですけどなくって全くなくって、どうしようと思って、で私がタマレスを作ろうと思ったのが、帰ってきてその4月、まだ寒いんです、島根の方はですね。で、トウモロコシは日本では夏にしかできませんから、じゃあバナナの皮かなと思ってアマゾンで調べた。 amazon.jp でですね、そしたら沖縄にバナナの皮注文したらすぐ来ると分かったんですね。どうしようかな、買おうかな、どうしようかなって思った時に、ちょうどですね両親と一緒に沖縄に旅行に行くことになりまして、だから沖縄っていうのは日本の本州の気候とちょっとまた違ってちょっと暖かいので、もしかしたらトウモロコシのあるんじゃないかなと思ってね、期待していったんですよ。そしたらちゃんと4月でも沖縄にはトウモロコシが市場に売れてました。だからその皮付きのトウモロコシを買って、それでね、旅行に行く前にマサを注文して着いた頃にはもうレディーゴーって感じですね。それなので、じゃあ作りましょうということですね。その時点でマサコっていうのはアマゾンで注文しても4日うちに来るまでにかかりました。で、 ね、トウモロコシもわざわざ沖縄に行って皮とねトウモロコシをねやったわけです、ね、本当にこの時点でですね、よしタマレスを作ろうって思ってから材料が手元に揃うまでにすでに1週間ぐらいかかってるわけです。ほんであれで調理を開始したわけですけれども、まずいろいろ玉ねぎだったですかねを野菜と鶏肉を30分ぐらい煮込むんですね。でだしスープを作るんです。だしだけ取って具はこすんですね。それで分けておく。でこの鶏を取り出してきて今度は裂くんですね。で裂いて置いといて、でトマトを切ったやつとそのなんかソースをですね作ってあえて中に入れる具を作るわけです。鶏肉も入れてですね具を作る。もうなんてこんなにいっぱいあるんだと思ってですね、この時点でなんかもう作ろうと思ったことちょっと後悔しましたね。それで頑張ろうと思ってね、そのだしスープはちょっとなんていうか向こうに置いといたので、そのだしスープを持ってきてですね、今度はマサと混ぜて生地を作るんですね。ちょっとずつ入れて生地を作って、できたと思ったらですね、この沖縄で買ってきたトウモロコシの皮を持ってきて、その、なんていうか生地に具を入れて包んで、でなんていうか結ぶ紐がありませんから、ビニールの紐でね結んだりしてっていうので56個そのねできました。でそれをですね、今度は20分ほどせいろというか蒸して、でやっと完成して、もう気づいた頃には2時間ぐらい経っていました。もう大変でしたね。レシピ通り作ってね、それらしいものができました。食べたことないし見たことないからわからないですけれども、正解の味も分かりません。でとりあえず本当に私の友達が言っとるように手間のかかる食べ物だなっていうふうに思うと同時にすごく愛着が湧いたんですね。私が作ったタマレスって感じでね。そうで1週間と2時間かけたわけですからね、本当に大事にして、でその日の夕食に、タマレスを家族に食べてもらいました。これはね私が作ったメキシコの料理だよって、すごいどんなものかよく分からんけど食べてみてって言ってね、食べれたんですね。ソースとそのタマレス本体をつけて食べて、美味しいって言ってくれました、父も母も。で弟いるんですけども、弟も食べれるって感じだったんですけど、その食べた後にすぐケチャップかけたんですよ。ケチャップと醤油をかけたんですね。みたいな、一生懸命作ったのにと思ってね、一生懸命1週間と2時間かけたタマレスにすぐにケチャップかけられて、ちょっとね私実はイラッとしたわけなんですね。なんでかっていうと、なんかもうそのままだったら美味しくないって言われたような言われたようなもんじゃないですか。だからそしてね、それだけ一生懸命作ったものですからね、ちょっとイラッとした。でもね、ハッとしたんですね。私今イラッとしたけど、作ったものに対して自分が、でも私も今まで誰かが作ったものに対して同じことを言ってるしやってるなって気がついたんですね。例えばレストランで注文して、目の前に出された料理、これ食べてみて、美味しくないねあんまり、これはいいねとか言ってね、とか言ったりとか、高いね値段の量の割によかったら安いねとかね、そういう価値観でしかその目の前で出されたものに対して見てなかったなってことにね、弟の姿を通して私、そしてタマレスを通して私、ちょっと自分の姿を気づかせてもらったわけです。私はこの目の前にあるタマレスがね、 どれほど時間をかけて思いを込めて作ってかっていうのね分かってますからね、すごい分かるね、なんていうか思い入れがある。でもそれが全然何も知らないで用意される裏にはどれほどの時間がかかってどれほどの苦労があるかっていうことを知らない人にとってはもう自分に都合のいいとか悪いことしか言わないんだなっていうことにね気づきました。そしてねやっぱり母の作ってきた料理も当たり前のように食べてきましたけれども、なんていうかね、作ってくれた人に対してとかこれを運んで関わってくれた人とかね、そしてこの命自体に対してもね、もうなんだかこう忘れていたな、そういうふうにね自分のもとに届くまでのなんていうか関わってくれていた全てのものに対してのなんだか感謝をね忘れていたなっていうふうに気づきました。ふとね思ったんです。私がいただくご飯っていうのはね、一体どこまでご飯であるかなって思ったんですね。例えば、タマレスをこの時点ね、お皿に乗ってるタマレスは私です。タマレスを口に運んだ瞬間、まだタマレスですかね、口の中では。じゃあ胃に入った瞬間はまだタマレスかな、タマレスと私かな。でもこれ消化されて私の一部になっていきますよね。でこのご飯とタマレスと私の境界を越えて一緒になって私の命を支えてくれとるんですよね。そう言うともうご飯ね、食事っていうのはただ単に食事じゃないな、命だったなって、私を、ね、支えてくれて他の命がね私の命となりきってこの命を生かさせてくれとったんだなって、ね、そう考えたらね、私一人ではとてもじゃないけど生きてはおらんかったなっていうことがね分かりました。なのにこれはおいしいおいしくないって文句を言う私、どうやら恥ずかしながらですね、大きな思い間違いをしとったなっていうことをね、こんなタマレスを作るそんな時間を通してですね、いただく時間を通してね、なんだか味わったことです。ご飯を食べるっていうこと一つね、自分を楽しませる、食欲を満たすだけのことじゃなかったんですね。いただくっていうことは、食事をいただくってことは他の命に生かされてるっていうこと、ね、そのおかげさまをすっかり忘れて自分のことばっかりになって、おるっていうのはね恥ずかしい。その真実、そういう自分のありのままの姿に光が通されて明らかになった。それが何も分かっとらんかったなっていう私の姿が無明の姿でした。この阿弥陀様はそういう私にね光を当ててくれる。そういうね自分の都合のいいようにしか見れない無明の私、無明っていうのはこの無明が迷いを作っていくんだよってお釈迦様はね教えてくださっている。その無明をね自分の力では振り切っていけない、迷いの振りかざしてでしか生きていけない私っていうことを、私っていうのを放っておけないんだよって、見捨てることなくね、その大きなあったかい光で、包んでくださっているのがこの阿弥陀様であります。その仏様がどこにいらっしゃるかっていうと、どこか遠くで私はずっとあなたを見守っとるよっていう仏様じゃない。この命とこの命のもとに届いて何万ダブ私たちがお唱えするこの命、ね、生阿弥陀仏と届くこの命そのものにですね、私の命となりきって今ご一緒くださっている。迷いを、ね、無明の私を見捨てない。私が必ず仏の命に育て上げていくよ。その知恵と慈悲の働きでもってね、光の働きのように、ね私のことをね常にいつでもどこでも育ててくださっているのがこの仏様でしたということをね、親鸞上人はご自身の上でね、命を通して生涯通して喜んでお伝えくださったわけであります。そして今ご一緒に何万打仏と、ね、今日もこの口にこの命に、ね、響いています、ね。 仏様のお話を聞いとるだけの時だけ仏様がいらっしゃるわけじゃなくて、嬉しい時も悲しい時も寂しいなって思う時もね、どんな時であってもね、この命丸ごとにこう、ね、照らしてくださっている仏様であります。ね、今日もご一緒にその仏様に手を合わさせていただいたこと、ありがたく思って、このご縁を閉じさせていただきます。はい、では、大事なところは、8代目の蓮如上人のご文章で、終わらせていただきます。141ページところですね。上人一流書のところを読んで終わりたいと思います。上人一流のご関係の趣は信心のもって本とせられそのゆえはもろもろの造業を投げ捨てて一心にmidaに奇妙すれば不可思議の眼力として仏の方より往生味上せしめたもそのくらいを一年発起入賞上始終とも釈しその上の称名念仏陀如来我が往生定めたまいしご恩法人の念仏と心べきなりアナカシコアナカシコ何万打仏何万打仏何万打仏何万打仏、はい、ありがとうございました。はい、次回はですね12月14日かな、毎週、第2日曜日のアダルトイングリッシュサービスが終わった時間11時ちょっと過ぎたり11時頃ですねに、このジャパニーズランゲージサービスですね日本語のサービスをさせていただいております。またお時間ございましたらご一緒に、お参りいただければと思います。私事なんですけれども、せっかく帰ってきたんですけれどもちょっとね自分のなんていうか人生の転機なことがあって、この12月か、1月ぐらい1月かなおそらく1月までここでね最後、なんていうか、新しいリンバンさんとのいろいろトランジッションもあったりしてそのお手伝いもしてちょっとねこれで日本に、帰らせていただくっていうことになりました。だけれども、最後まで1月までこのジャパニーズランゲージサービス務めさせていただこうと思いますのでまたどうぞご一緒にお参りいただければと思います。はい、ありがとうございました。はい。何万打仏何万打仏何万打仏。どうぞお焼香をどうぞ。はい。